And now, la última palabra, the last word on recognizing service of Latino veterans and the critical role they have played in U.S. military history. Latinos have fought in every major military encounter in American history, from the Revolutionary War to the recent conflicts in the Middle East. According to the Department of Defense, Latinos make up 17% of active duty service members. The Marine Corps has the biggest at 23%. Of the 61 Medals of Honor presented to Hispanics, 2 were presented to members of the United States Navy, 13 to members of the United States Marine Corps, and 46 to members of the United States Army. The first recipient was Corporal Joseph H. de Castro of the Union Army for his actions at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on July 3, 1863, during the American Civil War. Earlier this year, the name of Fort Hood, Texas, was changed to Fort Cavazos in honor of General Richard Cavazos, a Texas-born decorated war veteran who was the first Latino four-star general and the first Latino brigadier general. Cavazos commanded the 65th Infantry, known as the Borinqueniers, during the Korean War. Nicknamed the Borinqueniers after Borinquen, the word given to Puerto Rico by its original inhabitants, the Taíno Indians, bound the men of the 65th by a common language and a strong cultural identity, all the while dealing with discrimination within the Army and curtailed rights in their own land, where to this day they can be drafted but cannot vote in U.S. elections. The Borinqueniers, who fought in both World Wars and Korea, were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal by President Barack Obama in 2014. And let's not forget Latinas in the military. During World War II, thousands of Latinas served in the Women's Army Corps, in the Navy's Women Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service, and as nurses. During World War II, Latina service members were often held to stricter enlistment standards than their white counterparts, and their English had to be impeccable. Elizabeth Escobedo, associate professor of history at the University of Denver, noted in an interview with NBC Latino. These women still succeeded even as they dealt with racism, sexism, and sexual harassment. Recognition must begin with reflection. Although the military has done a good job of recruiting Latinos, Ricardo Aponte, president of the Hispanic Veterans Leadership Alliance and a retired Air Force Brigadier General, believes there are problems with retention and mentoring. Too many members of the forces leave after their initial commitment. There is nobody telling a young officer what he or she needs to do in order to achieve success in their military career, he told NBC Latino. As the military becomes more diverse, it is more important for the officer corps to reflect the nation's shifting population. The same barriers that keep Latinos from access to equitable health care and upward mobility at the workplace challenge the community in the armed forces. Hispanics are the fastest growing population in the military. It is high time they made it into the upper tiers of the U.S. military.